Are we winning friends? More often than not, people always believe they are right even when they know they are wrong. People tend to get defensive when criticized, and usually strive to justify themselves. Criticism is dangerous, because it wounds our pride, it hurts our sense of importance, and arouses resentment. Don't criticize others, they are just what we would be under similar circumstances. Don't complain about the snow on your neighbor's roof when your own doorstep is unclean, says Confucius. We're not logical, we're emotional beings, motivated by pride and vanity. I will speak ill of no man and speak all the good I know of everybody, says Benjamin Franklin. Rather than condemn others, try to understand them. Try to figure out why they do what they do. We all want and love to be appreciated. I consider my ability to arouse enthusiasm among my people the greatest asset I possess, and the way to develop the best that is in a person is by appreciation and encouragement. Before trying to persuade someone to do something, ask yourself, how can I encourage this person to want to do it? If there is any one secret of success, it lies in the ability to get the other person's point of view and see things from that person's perspective as well as from your own. You can make more friends in a short time by becoming interested in other people than you can in years by trying to get other people interested in you. It is the individual who is not interested in his fellow man who has the greatest difficulties in life and provides the greatest injury to others. It is from among such individuals that all human failures spring. Encourage others to talk about themselves. Always make others feel important. Most people you meet will feel superior to you in some way. A sure way into their heart is to let them realize in some subtle way that you validate their importance and recognize it sincerely. Talk to people about their interests and they will listen for hours. If you assert yourself, you may achieve victory sometimes, but it will be an empty victory because you will never get your opponent's goodwill. How to keep a disagreement from becoming an argument. Acknowledge the disagreement and control your temper. Listen first and look for areas of agreement. Be honest and promise to think over your opponent's ideas and study them carefully. Thank your opponents sincerely for their interest. Postpone action to give both sides time to think through the problem. There's real magic in such phrases as, I may be wrong. I frequently am wrong. Let's examine the facts. Don't argue with your customer or your spouse or your adversary. Don't tell them they are wrong. Don't get them stirred up. Use a little diplomacy. If we know we are going to be critiqued, isn't it far better to acknowledge the fault ourselves? Say all the things you feel the other person is thinking or wants to say or intends to say, and say them first, before that person has a chance to say them. When you know you're right, try to win people gently and tactfully to your way of thinking. When you're wrong, admit your mistake quickly and with sincerity. While talking with people, don't begin by discussing the things on which you differ. Begin by emphasizing, and keep on emphasizing, the things on which you agree. Keep emphasizing, if possible, that you are both striving for the same end result and that your only difference is one of method and the way to do and apply, and not of purpose. Get the other person to say, yes at the outset. Keep your opponent, if possible, from saying, no. Remember that other people may be totally wrong. But they don't think so. Don't condemn them. Any fool can do that. Try to understand them. Only wise, tolerant, exceptional people try to do that. If, as a result of these strategies, you get only one thing, an increased tendency to think, always in terms of the other person's point of view, and see things from that person's viewpoint as well as your own, if you get only that one thing from this knowledge, it may easily prove to be one of the stepping stones and a turning point in your life. How to stop arguments, eliminate ill feeling and create goodwill. Make the other person listen attentively. I don't blame you one iota for feeling as you do. Say, if I were you I would undoubtedly feel just as you do. 3/4 of the people you meet are hungry and thirsty and longing for sympathy. Give it to them, and they will love you. It's always easier to listen than express unpleasant things after hearing some praise of our good points. Calling attention to one's mistakes indirectly works wonders with sensitive people who may resent bitterly any direct criticism. It isn't nearly so easy to listen to a recital of your faults if the person criticizing begins by humbly admitting that he, too, is far from impeccable. Admitting one's own mistakes, even when one hasn't corrected them, can help convince somebody to change their behavior. People are more likely to accept a decision if they have had a part in the decision that caused the order to be issued. Everybody likes to be praised, but when praise is specific, it comes across as sincere, not something the other person may be saying just to make one feel good. If you want to improve a person in a certain aspect, act as though that particular trait were already one of his or her outstanding characteristics. Tell your child, your spouse, or your employee that he or she is stupid or dumb at a certain thing, has no gift for it and is doing it all wrong, and you have destroyed almost every incentive to try to improve. But use the opposite technique. Be liberal with your encouragement, make the thing seem easy to do, let the other person know that you have faith in their ability to do it, that they have an undeveloped flair for it, and they will practice until the realization comes that they need to excel. Always make the other person happy about doing the thing you suggest. The effective leader should keep the following guidelines in mind when it is necessary to change attitudes or behavior. Do not promise anything that you cannot deliver. Forget about the benefits to yourself, and focus on the benefits to the other person. Know exactly what it is you want the other person to do. Ask yourself, what is it that the other person really considers the benefits that they will receive from doing what you suggest match those benefits to the other person's wants. When you make your request, put it in a form that will convey to the other person the idea that they personally will benefit.